Hi there, it's Samuela Davidova. Welcome at another Monday episode. Today I want to speak about freelancing and I want to provide you different angles on how and what you can do. First, this is one of the seasons from the Freeist, which is the idea on how you can broaden the individual freedom you have. It's very tightly connected to the responsibility you are willing to take on yourself, on your life. And freelancing is surely one of the ways when you really take responsibility for yourself. It's not easy, but you can do it surely. First, you really have like various angles of what you can do, what you want to do from the individual freedom perspective. Like, let's say plan B, just to be secure, to be safe. I think you really want to work remotely. You want to be independent from location and time as best. But of course, sometimes it might not be the way, or there are different ways of what you can do and where you can do it and so on. But I recommend you just long-term thinking this way, to be not dependent on one location or time. Because when things happen, you can always just pack and leave, and it's like sort of plan B for anything. It just like provides you this option to do so, so that you would secure better conditions for yourself or your family, and wouldn't be dependent. Why is this important? Because oftentimes people just cannot, of course, imagine even to be relocating to another location, but also like even it sounds so crazy, but it makes sense. Like they have the whole living in one location where they have to come every day, let's say a shop or a barber shop, or like products. I don't know what people are doing in physically. Doctors usually are tied to one location. Sadly, this is more complicated because you have some particular license or particular paper you need to have in order to be operating in one country. So this is more difficult indeed. What you can do in this case, at least maybe start preparing, or at least being aware of like how things can work differently somewhere else. So that you would have this perspective. You want to be informed. But it's not easy. And of course, if you have products, you invested a product shop, so you invested in the groceries, you invested into the goods, and you cannot just, it's not so mobile as you would be with your laptop. An alternative might be, many people are just reselling some products, like this drop shipping and so on. Many people in Thailand are just making some money like this. Now I mean foreigners. Okay, so yeah, this is like why you want to have remote work, remote cooperation. First, it will let you explore the world while you're working. You don't have to wait on holidays or so. So you can actually find yourself a better location already as you go, and like really tomorrow. So because where you are now might not be necessarily the best place for you. Yeah, it can be that you prefer seaside. So why would you live in a town or far from the seaside, or in a country without any seaside and so on? So like your access to the seaside is not very easy. And you might think that this is a little thing, it's not that important. Of course, it's not like life-threatening, but actually it has a big impact on your happiness. So when you're in a surroundings that doesn't work for you, you're unhappy, you're tense, and you're constantly like trying to fight whatever life and being like, it's not so bad. But when you say it's not so bad, like life is for living, so just go and create yourself the best conditions you want to. Okay, let's get back to the freelancing. I think you got a point with this, like why this is important. So freelancing, it depends on what you want to do. And if you still would like to be at least slightly connected to the location, it might be easier for you, like from the perspective of like what can you do. It might be easier to sort of like imagine it. So for example, you can provide some services, try to think of like what problems you had in the particular locations yourself, especially if you're a foreigner, like an expat, and you can provide this as a service to other people. Like with my friend Pavel Luptak and Liberation Travel, we are opening remotely bank accounts in Georgia because I use it myself, because it's just working. He's using it as well, and we have some very nice connections here, and it's one of the very few countries where you can open the bank account remotely without having a residency here, and it's just working. Like the bank system, financial system is here very good, on like really very good high level, so yeah, it's just very nice. So we do this because it's like we don't both, for example, we both don't like bureaucracy, and so what we want to do for our clients to reduce this bureaucratic burden, so that they just come, make a copy of their passport and sign the power of attorney, make it notarized. We cannot do this on their behalf, but then they just hand over the documents, and then we already just contact them like, will please be online and you will send us some one-time codes, and that's it, you know. So this is a big difference, like compared to having to do, we do a lot of stuff behind, you know, like the bureaucracy. So this is like one of the, let's say, a problem that you can resolve on other people. So this way you will feel like people need it and so on. You need to market it, of course, in a certain way. What you can do physically, and I've been doing in the past, I was doing event management because I was enjoying it, but I think it's better when you already have some very good connections in the place where you are, so that you know you have contacts for everyone, for, you know, the venues, you know, the environment, you know, the habits, you know, the delivery time. It's also very important, and so on. So it's very like specific, and you might better do like event management in a location that you already know. It's much better. But you can do actually pretty much like anything, honestly. You can join some company in the country and work remotely for them. You can of course work remotely for some other country, but it's not that much freelancing, I would say. You can, it depends on what you are in. So if you're in IT, you can try to search for your own clients, or you can engage, you can connect with people on LinkedIn who might be interested into some particular specialist you are, and you might cooperate with them on some, you know, like part-time, and you search for your own clients, or you might register at sites like Upwork or similar sites where you can also create your profile, and then you can market there your services, etc. So like this is something you can do if you're already a specialist in some way. That's totally easy and is better for you. If you're just beginning, it's a bit more complicated, I would say so. But let's say you already have some expertise or some information, or let's say you have an idea for your own startup or for your, let's say, marketing agency, whatever. So in this case, I recommend you to relocate physically, because it's something you can do remotely, to physically relocate into some cheaper area. It can be Southeast Asia maybe, or South America, and Uruguay is more expensive, but besides that it should be cheaper than where you are right now. And so why is it important? Because if you'll be staying, let's say, in a Western country, so you'll be constantly like locked, because the cost of living is too high, and you will have to have some other job in order to just begin. So the reality is also that, you know, you will get up, you will go to your job, and then you will be so tired and out of energy, especially if you don't like your job, so that you won't really begin your startup, because it will be just too much drag. It's totally normal, but like you're like locked in a loop, and it will take you more time to begin. So it might be better for you if you want to begin, you know, like really tomorrow, as best if you have saved some money, let's say for like half a year. So it will be better for you to go to some country which is slightly at least cheaper than your country, where you can stay, you can feel comfortable as well, that it fits you, and then you can just start your whatever company remotely. So this is I think this is very important. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention is the necessity. So I actually think it's slightly better for you if you do this, like if you really cut off this let's call it stability, whatever, one income, one salary job, and go somewhere else, and just go fully into like building your thing, because the necessity will make you really work 24/7. If you have some backup, like very kind very nice parents, let's say, who are like supporting you, so you do not really feel this necessity, and it's much more difficult for you to actually push yourself and do the thing, really. Like, even I would say I have a pretty good discipline, but sorry for the noise here, but still, like, the necessity is king for you if you really want to start your thing and you really believe that it will be profitable. What I also recommend you, maybe you might think, because unless you're really sure that it's like a market fit, which I mean by this, that people really need it and are willing to pay for it, as best, then it might be something that someone came to you if you could help them with that. So in that case, you want to sorry, I just okay, so if this is the case, so good luck, like this is good, but most likely you want to actually try different hypotheses, like let's say 5 different hypotheses. And what does it mean? So that you do not have only one product or not one idea, but let's say you have like 5 ideas, 5 different products, 5 different projects. And okay, despite, like, it's very good if it's like still one niche, like one particular area you want to focus on, but still you want to have like 5 different possible incomes and you try them out. Yeah, I know that it's like much better to focus on one thing and finishing it. This is totally right, but at the same time, then I would start working on something more, so that you would feel, so that you first, you will then evolve and having more like agile approach to improving one particular thing that people really need, that makes you most money, and that sort of makes sense and doesn't make you frustrated, etc., and gives you the most freedom. So like trying different hypotheses is very good. Let's say you will really very intensively focus on one area for 1 week, second week, second area, second project, third week, third project, third area. And yes, you can actually start a project in a week, maybe even less, but it depends on what you want to do. One of the problems, like how you hold yourself back, is that you create very difficult projects, very difficult ideas, idea of a big company first, and millions of something. I recommend you just like start small, and become really unique in some particular way, like having multidisciplinary approach, interconnecting different areas that are authentic to you, etc. It will really make you stand out. Like, for example, I guess my way of thinking about individual freedom is very specific, because it really comes from something I live and I experience, and I created like sort of full scale like checklist of what you can do. And it doesn't have to be necessarily complicated. So okay, before I will write a book, so I can already make these videos for you, which will deliver the message, it will deliver the idea, it can help people already today, and not in 2 years. Like 2 years is good, but you need to sort of like live, or you need to provide value to other people. like the same problem is like if you think you need some extra degree, if you need some extra whatever, it's a bullshit, you know. Start something that is more like yours. What is not yours? For example, one guy texted me, he wants to start a relocation agency to Georgia. I was like, I am starting a relocation agency to Georgia, how may I help, you know? And I asked him, and he had zero clue about how it works in Georgia. He doesn't live here. He doesn't have anything in common with the country. He just wanted to start a business. And I asked him, like, why do you want to do this, actually, if I may ask? And he was like, yeah, you know, my wife, she sent me some nice, you know, cottages for stay in Georgia if we were traveling there. And I was like, what the hell, you know, like, it's so much not authentic to yourself. Like, yeah, sure, you can like sort of react on demand so that people want to help with some things and so on. But honestly, like, is this the way you want to make a business? Like, you have no clue about it. And of course you can totally outsource it, but how you will feel about yourself at the same time, you know. It's like, first, it's much more risky because you do not understand the topic, you do not understand the country and so on. Second, I wouldn't buy a service from such a person. Yeah, so if someone really is willing to invest in your services that might cost hundreds of dollars, it's better if you build trust through, you know, something like your face, something like your experience. You have your own skin in the game. You're involved yourself. It is part of yourself. If it's authentic to you, so it will be much easier for you to sell your services, whatever you're doing. So you can build this. You can check my personal branding course. I will mention it here. You can buy me a coffee for a few dollars, really, because it will give you a very good like exercise and idea, like maybe like rather like reflection exercise, so that you would really went and go directly, like you would market yourself and your service the right way to the right audience. So you know, to not to waste your time, and by trying, you will have to try anyway, but it's very, very nice when you already know where you're heading. So like this course will totally help you. It's like very nice reflection, and I will go through it again myself because it's a really good thing. Okay, so yeah, you can use this way personal branding because yeah, it really builds better trust. You can sell anything via your already network on LinkedIn or other social media. It doesn't matter much where is it, but it doesn't have to be even social media. Just the fact that you connect your brand with yourself, it will be easier to sell anything you want to. Okay, so I guess that's it for today. Let me know what questions you have in the comments. Maybe I will finish it with a final thought. Like, I was freelancing in the past as in PR and event management, so I was searching for clients myself and so on. PR was for one agency, and also I was doing some various stuff like maybe on more like a management role, like helping companies to reduce their processes and improve their processes, and just doing everything. I would say like improvement of mainly in hospitality. Then I was cooperating with IT companies, but it was not that much like freelancing anymore. And now I just tried these various hypotheses. I connected more with Georgia as a country, but at the same time I'm not like so much connected in a way. Like, if I had to leave tomorrow, okay, I will leave and I will stay. I know I have a belief already built in myself that it's okay, I can go to another country and I will make money another way. Yeah, so I think this is very useful, and this various hypothesis also, it provides like various sources of income, and it makes you feel much more confident about yourself then. Yeah, so good luck, and you got this. I hope that this helped you to provide various perspectives, and best of luck to you. Cheers.